The streets around the group are hustling and bustling. Many people are going about their day doing what they normally do, working their jobs, traveling from one place to another, or just out for a walk. The colorful image of the city is conveyed by not only the architecture, but the people as well. They express themselves through their clothes, how they walk, and how they talk. It adds to magnify the colorful architecture and greenery that sprawls across the sun-touched surface of the city. Booth's Sandwiches is a common place for people to get lunch, as it's a quick stop for a quick meal with pretty good quality. While the main group is sitting, tables and chairs around the front of the building are set up for dining. Others congregate around there as well. Others are meeting friends or taking a lunch similar to our group that we follow now.
Well, thoughts on sandwiches from the moonlit savannah?
Malika asks the group.
I thought it was fine,
Val responds.
They were really good. The greens were just a little bit disappointing, in my opinion.
Robin remarks. Yeah, the bread was a little more grainy than I was expecting, says Keller. Cleaning up the remains of the meal, the group stands up and starts making their way towards where they think the Brunsky Adventurers Guild is for work. Seeing how empty their coin purses were last time they checked, they would need to do something that could be relatively easy to accomplish. Something to fill their pockets and help them on their individual quests. More tall buildings and grand architecture pass by them as they make their way through the streets. They realize only after getting a little further into the town that they don't actually know where the Adventurers Guild is. A stranger approaches the group and asks them,
Hey, you sort look a little lost. Have you been to the city before?
He's a tall, lithe man draped in a dark auburn cloak and walks with a large hunch. Pulling the hood back, the man has wild, unkempt, dark purple hair, a tiny nose, and squinted, beady eyes. His gaze darts around, occasionally looking up and down each of the adventurers. Robin, eager to always make new friends, replies, No, actually, we're new here. We're looking for the Brunsky Adventurers Guild for work.
Oh, that's great. I'm a local here. I've lived here my whole life. Say, before y'all go to the guild house, how about I give you a little tour? There are a lot of interesting spots to visit on this side of town. We could just visit some of my favorite sightseeing spots, and I'll give you a little bit of history on the way.
Val and Keller both squint in unison and take a second to glance at each other in suspicion of this quote-unquote tour guide.
Malika chimes in. Well, I guess if you know where the guild house is, it wouldn't be bad to have a local guide us there. Plus, I do think this place has some cool spots to look at. I'm down. What about y'all?
Valon sighs.
Fine, as long as we get there.
Keller looks at Malika with a disheartened smile.
If that's what you want, honey.
Malika adds,
To be fair, we were already kind of lost, and if somebody knows the way and makes the journey a little bit more fun than just walking through the streets, I'm all for it. Great! I'll lead you up this way first. My name's Struth, by the way. Struth Cadwin.
The man replies.
Now, this section of the city here is called Lily Dawn Heights. A lot of the taller buildings are set up in this area, given that it's one of the oldest parts. As I'm sure you've seen, the buildings are stacked on top of each other, and the ones below are magically reinforced to handle the structure. The tall skyscrapers are a combination of living spaces and shops as well. A lot of life goes on around here. Up ahead there, the wider, tall building is the Grand Lindo Library. It's one of the largest libraries in all of the city.
How many books are in there? Robin cuts into Struth's speech.
How many? Well, I guess around 10 million books, I think. Last I heard, at least.
He replies. Wow, that's amazing. We have to go in and look at some of them.
I'm dying to know what's in there.
Oh, yeah, books. That sounds fun. Wait a second. What's that sound I hear?
Malika asks the group, quickly losing interest in this whole tour. She starts making her way down the side of the road towards where the music is coming from. The rest of the group follows suit, unable to stop this moving train that has now changed course. Struth carries a worried look on his face. He may have had other plans for a route in mind, and given his shaky demeanor, Val and Keller are still on edge from when they first met him. Winding through smaller side streets, they pass by more of the tall buildings with greenery cascading from the balconies to the floors below. Malika is now leading the charge and where she thinks the music is coming from. Her ears are correct, though, in that the direction she's leading does take them to a place with louder music. The space they've come upon is more of an open area and has some garden sections separating the buildings and streets, more so than some of the roads they had passed by prior. It creates a courtyard, a combination of grassy patches, open sunlight areas, tall buildings on the surroundings, and a larger, more opulent gazebo structure in the very center. Within the center, there are many people playing different instruments, practicing their craft of the musical arts. Some opt for a traditional way of playing instruments, while others explore different ways. String and wind instruments can be heard and are played with expertise by some of the bards in the area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this place is cool.
Malika says to the group. By the intrigued sort of bewilderment the group has, many of these instruments they see playing in front of them are unfamiliar and complex seeming. Struth himself seems perplexed by some of the objects integrating magitech for these crazy machines. One man in particular has 6 colored boxes in front of him, with winding gears and small bits of metal that are moving and ticking in different time signatures. The group stops to take a moment and stare at the man's actions. Out of the corner of his eye, he notices the group watching him, and seems to take a more showboating demeanor. He cracks his knuckles, takes a flute, and plays a single note out of it. Immediately after finishing that note, he gestures his hand to move his aura, forming a spell in a 6-pointed diamond shape. When doing this, he manipulates his magical aura to create an air-type spell. A moment passes, and that exact same flute sound is recorded and begins playing back in a repeated pattern from the first box. With an even greater sense of confidence, he reaches for a stick in a small metal bucket placed in front of him. He holds one hand out, ready to cast another spell, and with the other, he takes the stick and whacks the bucket, creating a metal tinging sound. It's then recorded and placed into the second box. Once he flips a switch on this one, it begins playing in the time signature of the flute. With how integrated magic is into society, it makes sense that music would be something people have integrated magic into in ways that break normal music conventions.
Ooh, I see. So the boxes are a way to channel and capture the air magic of the sound and play it back in a loop for us to hear.
That's crazy. I love that. I absolutely love that. Robin's eyes start to glow with the same starry look he had earlier in the day with the magical cager box.
If I remember correctly, this is Captain Mollymax's Bard College of Lindo. It's one of the most prestigious bard schools in all of town.
Struth adds.
We should really be getting on the path. I don't want to keep them waiting and...
Struth's sentence trails off.
What do you mean by that? Ooh, I remember. I heard Lindo has some amazing botanical rooftop gardens. Could you take us to one of them right now? Skagey has some incredible nature within its borders, and I would love to see it.
Robin's question cuts off Valon halfway through his own, shifting Struth's focus. With the same sheepish expression he had this entire time, he looks to Robin, demanding his attention with his intrigue.
Well, the Narrow Leaf Heights building has a massive botanical garden on the very top of it. It is open to the public, but you do have to pay a fee to get in, though. It's just this way up here. Not very far away at all.
Struth doesn't make eye contact with any of them, but turns and starts heading towards the assumed building. Robin's expression is overjoyed, finally going to get an in-depth look at something he's very passionate about. While passing through smaller, more sketchy streets, the group makes their way, hopefully, to the garden.
Valon, have your weapon ready. I'm not sure I trust where we're going.
Keller whispers to him.
It's funny. I was going to say the same thing to you. I am somewhat surprised you had the wherewithal to keep an alternative in mind, should things end poorly.
Valon gives him a snide reply. Keller scoffs. Ugh, listen, I know how to take care of myself and the people I care about. I won't expect someone of your profession to know anything about protecting someone else. Yes, because traveling with a failed doctor fills me with so much confidence for my protection. Valon's reply was a verbal representation of his claws setting into Keller. Just before things can escalate any further, a small no-get bird flutters in between Keller and Valon. It heads right to Struth and perches right on top of him. At first, Struth looks a bit shocked, but reaching up his hand to pet the top of the bird's head, it seems as though the bird's presence is setting him at ease. His tense shoulders begin to relax for a moment.
Oh, I've seen these birds before. There's a lot of them in big cities like this, but usually they steer clear of people. It looks like you have a way with animals,
Robin remarks.
Oh, I've always enjoyed the company of animals more often than that of people.
Struth lets out a chuckle. He reaches his forearm up for the bird to step onto it. The bird accepts this and hops off his head onto his arm. Malika and Robin step up to the man and the bird with intrigue. They both give it a little pet, completely enamored by this small animal. Initially, the shock of the bird fluttering so close to Keller and Valon had almost set them into combat mode. Once they took a breath, they watched the two they cared most about petting this small bird, the tension bubbling up between them now dissipating. What do we have here? 4 adventurers and a bird whisperer. Well, this is for sure the most interesting lot we've had in a while. A harsh voice echoes from a balcony high above. The group looks up to him in shock. He pulls down on a large lever to the side of him. The alleyway they were passing through was a narrow one, and the walls of the buildings on either side were tall. This surly individual chuckles, and in a moment the floor beneath the group hinges downwards. Without a second to think, all 5 of them fall straight down into a newly opened pit beneath them. The no-gip takes to the air, dodging the fall while the others plummet downwards. After that moment, the floor that once was beneath them moves upwards, sealing itself, like nothing had changed. The man on the balcony takes out his callstone, casts a spell needed to pull up a number. I've got some heading your way, my adventurers. They should have some good stuff on them. Sun-touched surface of the cities. I kind of cooked with that one. Not gonna lie. He's a tall, slender man.
Wait, Slender Man? He's a tall, slender man?
Oh my goodness. Val and Keller both squint in unison and take a second to glance at each other in suspicion. Why did I transition to different scene. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, I got that the first try, and now I'm trying to do it again, and my brain's like, whoa, whoa, dyslexia, Jesus, wow, okay, we're good, ahead of, wow. I just lost at all my place for a second. I was like, am I reading? Where am I? Hello? Who am I? What's going on? I'm scared. With an even greater sense of confidence, he reaches for a stick. Yeah, period. No, I think that's good. With even greater confidence, he reaches for a stick. Ugh. My eyes can't read. Why can't I read? I lost all abilities. I was like, okay, yeah, 20 minutes of like reading. And then my brain's like, you know what? I'm clocking out. I'm done. That's it. You got your 20 minutes of reading time. Now go on Instagram and start scrolling. Idiot. Scroll. Do it. All right, let's. Whoa. Fuck, I love the Cockney. I can't not do the Cockney. I have to do them. I have to do the accent. I can't not do the accent. I love it. I played too much D&D for this. The end. At least for now.